Hello students and welcome back to our 6th standard Sainik School English crash course by Ma Tutorials. My name is Anmol and I'm your guide through this journey of the English language. We have already covered 5 lessons till now. We started with the types of sentences, moved on to the parts of speech, started with nouns, spent 2 days with that. Then we covered pronouns in a day, and today is our third part of speech, adjectives. As we see, there are 8 kind of adjectives that we are going to be talking about today. Adjectives are words that modify a noun or a pronoun. The 8 kind of adjectives you are able to see here are adjective of quality, adjective of quantity, adjective of number, interrogative adjective, demonstrative adjective, possessive adjective, exclamatory adjective, and emphatic adjective. Let's start with our first kind, adjective of quality. As the name suggests, the adjective of quality shows the quality, merit, demerit, etc. of a noun or a pronoun. So it will tell about the quality of something or someone or some place. For example, the ground is muddy. Now, muddy is a word that is telling about the quality of the ground. How is the ground? It is muddy. What kind of a ground is it? It is muddy. Ashok was a wise king. What kind of a king? Wise king. Ashok was a wise king. Agra is a large city. Agra is a large city. It has the Taj Mahal in it as well. Agra is a large city. The foolish old crow tried to sing. What kind of a crow was it? It was foolish and old. Both of these words are talking about the crow. Both of them are adjectives for the noun crow. Here the noun ground, muddy, was used to modify the noun ground. Wise here was used to modify the noun king. Large here was used to modify the noun city. And foolish and old is used here to modify the noun crown. Adjective of quality. These usually answer the question what kind of. So what kind of ground? Muddy. What kind of king? Wise. The kind of city? Large. What kind of a crow? Foolish and old. Adjective of quality. Next, we move on to adjective of quantity. As the name suggests, it talks about the quantity of something. Quantity of something. Something which is uncountable. Adjectives of quantity are used for nouns that are uncountable. For countable nouns, we will use adjectives of number, which will come up ahead in the next slide. She is a girl of great courage. She is a girl of great courage. Here, great is the adjective of quantity and it is modifying the noun courage. It is answering the question, how much courage? Great courage. I have done enough hard work. I have done enough hard work. Here, enough is modifying the noun work. Hard being an adjective of quality for it, but since we are learning about adjectives of quantity, we are only going to focus on enough. So how much work? Enough hard work. How much hard work? Enough hard work. I ate some rice. Some rice. How much rice? Some rice. He has little intelligence. He has little intelligence. How much intelligence? Little intelligence. So we will see that the adjectives of quantity answer the question how much. Let's move on to our next adjective, the adjective of number. Now it shows the amount or number of something used for nouns that are countable. There are 3 kinds, definite, indefinite, and distributive. So adjective of number, it shows the amount or number used for countable nouns, and it is again of 3 kinds, definite, indefinite, and distributive. Now, definite are used when we know exactly how many there are of something, like 1, 2, 3, 1 mango, 2 mangoes, 3 mangoes. These are called cardinal numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are called cardinal numbers. And first, second, third, I was first in class, he was second in class, she was third in class, etc. First, second, third, it tells about the order of something, hence are known as ordinal definite adjectives of numbers. So, again, we saw under adjective of number, there were 3 kinds: definite, indefinite, and distributive. Definite is when we know for sure the amount of number of something. It is of 2 kinds: cardinal, like 1, 2, 3, and ordinal, which tells the order, like first, second, third. Then we have indefinite adjectives. Indefinite adjectives of number, when something is not definite in number, then we use these words. For example, several, sundry, any, certain, few, some, all, no, etc. Sundry is pretty much the same meaning as several. There is hardly any difference between those. That is what it means as well. And then the third kind, distributive adjective of number, which distributes the quality over a particular group one at a time. So either each, every, either, neither. So if we have a group of objects, 2 or more, and we want to distribute the quality to each of them one at a time, we will use distributive adjectives of number. So we saw a third kind of adjective of number. It is used for countable nouns and is of 3 kinds: definite, indefinite, and distributive. Definite being when the exact number of something is known. For example, cardinal being 1, 2, 3, and ordinal being first, second, third, fourth, etc. Indefinite adjectives are used when the number is not definite, when we know there are a few, some, many, etc. And then distributive adjective of number, which is used when we want to distribute the quality, when we want to distribute the action of something or the quality of something over a number of things in a group, and we want to address them one at a time. Then we use the distributive adjective of number. So we saw till now the 3 kinds of adjectives. The adjective of quality, which tells about the quality of something. It answers the question of what kind. Then the adjective of quantity, which shows the quantity of something used for uncountable nouns and answers this question, how much. And then the adjective of number, which is used to tell the number of something, such as a countable noun, any countable noun, and it answers the question how many. You will see the question it answers is how many. Each student is looking for a better chance. How many students are looking? Each student is looking for a better chance. Some girls are able to do it. Some girls are able to do it. How many girls are able to do it? Some girls are able to do it. Neither of these evidences can prove the guilt. Neither of these evidences can prove the guilt. How many of these evidences can prove the guilt? Neither of them. So there must be 2, and neither of those evidences can prove the guilt. He has 5 fingers. How many fingers? 5 fingers. Is Sunday the first day of the week? Now you will see here we are using the ordinal. This will not answer the question how many. This will answer the question which. Which day of the week is Sunday? Sunday is the first day of the week. Is Sunday the first day of the week? Maybe it is, maybe it is not. Maybe some people start Monday. Consider Monday as the first day of the week. So, is Sunday the first day of the week? Sunday is the first day of the week. Which day of the week is Sunday? It is the first day of the week. So, the ordinal numbers, ordinal definite adjectives answer the question which instead of how many. Either pen will do. Which pen will do? So, for distributive also, it can either answer the question which or how many. Which pen will do? Either of the pen will do. Which pen will do? Either of the pen will do. When there are 2, we're talking about 2 and distributing it over those 2. Which pen will do? Either of the pen will do. Let's move on to our 4th kind of adjective called interrogative adjective. This must be a very straightforward, simple thing to understand because we have already covered the word interrogative twice before. Once with, yes, sentences, interrogative sentences, sentences that are used to ask a question. Then we moved on with interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns, pronouns that are used to ask a question, and appear standalone, as a standalone word, not associated with another noun, because they are replacing a noun. But here, if the similar words, the ones that we used in the pronouns, are followed by a noun, for example, here whose is followed by a noun book. So whose is followed by a noun book. That means that whose is modifying the noun book, which makes it an adjective of question. And interrogative adjectives, these are used to ask question. What time is it? What time is it? Again, what is the adjective which is modifying the noun time here? Which way shall we go? Which again is followed by a noun. Which way shall we go? Hence these three words act as an adjective here because they are followed by a noun. Interrogative adjectives. Let's move on to our next kind, demonstrative adjective. Similar to the demonstrative pronouns, this, that, these, those, this and these for something which is nearby, this for singular, these for plural, that and those for something which is far away, that for singular, those for plural, this, that, these, those, and one more, such is a demonstrative adjective. How do we differentiate? We differentiate when these words are followed by a noun, they are an adjective. If they appear standalone without being followed by a noun, they are a pronoun. So demonstrative pronouns we did before in the last class. If you have any confusion regarding demonstrative pronouns, make sure to revise the previous lessons as well. So demonstrative adjectives, they point out a noun or a pronoun. These books, which books? These books are very helpful to us. This boy is stronger than Krishna. Which boy? This boy is stronger than Krishna. I hate such things. I hate such things. I hate which things? Such things. Let's move on to our next kind. Possessive adjectives. Now these adjectives show possession. My pen is blue, but your pen is black. We remember from possessive pronouns as well. There were possessive pronouns as well. Pronouns that talked about possession. This pen is mine. This is my pen. So when I'm using mine as a stand-alone word without being followed by a noun, it is a pronoun. When I use it as in the form of my and follow it by a noun, it becomes an adjective. So shows possession. My pen is blue, but your pen is black. So whose pen? My pen. Whose pen? Your pen. This is our house. Whose house? Our house. Her friend has been to London. Whose friend? Her friend. Possessive adjectives. Next are exclamatory adjectives. Exclamatory adjectives are used to show surprise or any sort of a sudden emotion, used for exclamation. What is used as an exclamatory adjective? What a mistake. Not really asking here. This is not a question. It is an exclamation. It is a statement. What a mistake it is. What a mistake. What a lady she is. What a lady she is. The Iron Lady of India or the Iron Lady of the world, Mother India, any other strong lady. What a lady she is. What a snowfall. What a snowfall. What a snowfall. It's beautiful. It's pristine. What a snowfall. All of them are showing exclamations. They're showing surprise, strong emotions. Exclamatory adjectives. Now we move on to the next one. Emphatic adjectives. Emphatic adjectives, similar to emphatic pronouns, are used for emphasis. They do not add any new meaning to the sentence, but are only used to lay emphasis, further emphasis, to put force into our rhetoric. Emphasizes the idea, statement, etc. It was your own idea. It was your idea. If I remove own, it was your idea still means the same thing. It was your own idea. That is the very place where I met her. That is the very place where I met her. Which place? Very place. What kind of idea? Own idea. Your own idea. This is the very place where I met her. Even if I remove these words from here, this is your idea. It was your idea still means the same thing. That is the place where I met her still means the same thing. Own and very here is being used, are being used to lay emphasis. Hence they are called emphatic adjectives. Quickly let's revise the kind of adjectives before moving on to our next topic. We had adjective of quality, which tells about the quality of something. Adjective of quantity, which tells about the quantity of uncountable nouns. Adjective of number, which tells the number of countable nouns, was further divided into three: definite, which were like cardinal, 1, 2, 3, and ordinal, first, second, third. Indefinite, when the number is uncertain, and distributive, when we want to distribute an attribute or a verb over a group of things or people one at a time. Then we had interrogative adjectives, which are used to ask questions, demonstrative adjectives, which are used to point out to things, possessive adjectives, which show possession, exclamatory adjectives that show surprise, and emphatic adjectives that emphasize the idea or statement without modifying the sentence. Now you must remember, when we were doing parts of speech, I pointed out and highlighted that adjectives are the words that then have degrees of comparison. What are degrees of comparison? Let's say, for example, the positive degree. Now when we are comparing two nouns or pronouns together, and both of them are equal in quality, something is as good as something else, someone is as tall as someone else, someone is as beautiful as someone else, someone is as intelligent as someone else, something is as big as something else, some place is as huge as some place else. If they are the same, of the same quality, then the positive degree is used, right? Again, someone is as good as, so good, as tall, as big, as beautiful, as beautiful. All of these words, these adjectives, are called in the positive degree because they are used to compare two things when they are of equal level. For example, she is as good as her mother, as good as. So you will also notice that these positive degrees are followed and preceded by the word as good as tall as big as beautiful as, etc., etc. When we are comparing two nouns or pronouns with the similar degree of quality, you are as tall as a camel, as tall as a camel. Now comparative degree. Now when we are comparing two things which are not equal to each other, where one of them has a greater degree of quality or one of them has a lesser degree of quality. So greater, lesser, these are also comparative degrees. For example, he is better than you. He is better than you. You know, two people are being compared, you and him, and he is better than you. It's not the same quality. Now we are using the comparative degree of good. What is the comparative degree of good? Better. And what is the comparative degree of tall? Taller. So Sony is taller than the other girl. Sony is taller than the other girl. We're comparing two things, Sony and the other girl, and we're saying Sony is taller than the other girl. The quality that they both have of being tall, Sony has more of it. She is taller. That is the comparative degree. Now we have the superlative degree. Now let's imagine we have more than two things to compare. Now there are 3 people or 4 people or 400, 5,000 people to compare, 5,000 things to compare, and we want to tell which is the best among them. Best. The best is a superlative degree. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Something is as good as, something is better than, and something is the best amongst all. So now when we are comparing more than 2 nouns or pronouns, we use superlative degree. For example, Moti is the best of all the players. Moti is the best of all the players. Ram is the tallest boy in the class. Ram is the tallest boy in the class. So see, when we were using the positive degree, we were using it with as good as tall as. When we are using it in a comparative degree, we are using it with than, better than, taller than. And when we are using it as a superlative degree, we use it with the best, the tallest. As good as, better than, the best, as tall as, taller than, the tallest. These are the 3 degrees of comparison within the adjectives. Let's quickly learn of a few rules that are used in the formation of these degrees. You might have seen already in tall, we added ER to make a comparative degree and EST to add a superlative degree. In tall, we just added an ER. It became a comparative degree, and we added EST and it became a superlative degree. Now that is the general rule, but then many words do not follow these rules because English is a language of exceptions. Now let's see what exceptions are there that need to be covered for your level right now. So when the positive is a word of 1 syllable, Now, if the positive is a word of one syllable means one unit of sound. For example, my name is Anmol. There are two units, Anmol, that is two syllables. But if the positive is a word of one syllable and ends in a single consonant. Now here you would have seen tall ends with two consonants, double L. Tall is ending with two consonants, double L. We are talking about those that end with single consonant. What do we do then? Then we don't just add ER and EST. First we double the consonant. First the consonant is doubled. First we double the last consonant and then add ER or EST. For example, fat, there is only one T. Now before adding ER, we will make it double T, fatter. And before adding EST for the superlative, we will again double the T, fattest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Similarly, sad, short syllable, one syllable, ends with a single consonant preceded by a short vowel. The last consonant doubles and ER is added and EST is added. Sad, sadder, saddest. Now, if the positive, another exception, second positive, if the positive is already ending in E, then we don't add another ER, we only add R. We don't add another EST, we only add ST. See, able, already ending with E, so we only add an R. And we only add an ST. Able, abler, ablest. Fine, already ending in E, we already add an R, only add an R. And we only add an ST. Fine, finer, finest. The third exception, if the positive ends with a Y and is preceded by a consonant, before the Y there is a consonant, then we change first the Y to an I and then add an ER or an EST. Wealthy, first we change the Y to an I and then add the ER. Wealthier. First we change the Y to an I and then add the EST. Wealthiest. For words ending with Y and preceded by a consonant. Dry, ending with Y, preceded by a consonant. Drier, first we change the Y to an I and then add an ER. Driest, first we change the Y to an I and then add an EST. Dry, drier, driest. Now for our fourth exception, when the positives are more than two syllables. Now when the positives are more than two syllables, if they are more than two syllables, we do not add ER or EST, we just add more and most before the words to make them comparative and superlative. For example, difficult, difficult, three syllables, difficult. If they are more than two syllables, we add more difficult, most difficult. That becomes the comparative and the superlative. More difficult, most difficult. Excellent, again, excellent, more excellent, most excellent. And then our last exception are for irregular adjectives that do not really follow any rules and need to be learnt by heart. They need to be learnt. For example, far, farther, farthest, little, less, lesser, or less or lesser, and superlative, least, etc. In your resources, you will get a list of other such adjectives to memorize and a practice sheet along with this to practice whatever we did today. Let's just do a quick recap of what we covered today in our class. We started with 8 kinds of adjectives. Adjective of quality, which answers the question of what kind, tells about the quality of something. Adjective of quantity answers the question of how much, tells about the quantity of uncountable nouns. Adjective of number answers how many and tells about the number of countable nouns. They are of 3 kinds then: definite, indefinite, and distributive. Definite are further divided into 2 kinds, or cardinal and ordinal. 1, 2, 3 being the cardinal numbers and ordinal being the order, first, second, third, etc. Indefinite adjectives then when we are not sure about the number exactly, and distributive adjectives when we want to distribute an attribute or a verb over a particular group of things one at a time. Adjective of number examples, then we did interrogative adjectives which are used to ask questions, demonstrative adjectives which are used to point out to nouns or pronouns, possessive adjectives that show possession, exclamatory adjectives that show surprise, emphatic adjectives that are used for emphasis only without modifying any sentence. These are the 8 kinds of adjectives. Then we went to the degree of comparison. We saw that there are 3 degrees: positive, comparative, and superlative. Positive degree is used when we want to compare 2 things that are equal in quality, that have similar degrees of quality. We use it in the form of as, good as tall as dash as. Then we have the comparative degree, which is used to compare two things when they are not of equal degree of quality, when one of them is greater or lesser than the other. We use it in this form: better than, taller than, along with the word than. And then the superlative degree, when it is used when there are more than two things to be compared and we want to point out the one which is the best or the worst out of them all. So Modi is the best of all the players, Ram is the tallest boy in the class, and we use the article the along with it: the best, the tallest. Then we saw the formation of degrees. We saw the general rule is that we add er and est to the word, but then we saw exceptions as well. If it is one syllable and the last consonant is single, first we double the consonant, then add the er and est. If the last letter is e, then we only add r and st. If the last letter is y and is preceded by a consonant, then we first change the y to an I, then add an er or an est. Then there are some that are more than two syllables. We do not add an er or est to them. We use more and most before them for comparative and superlative respectively. And then there are irregular adjectives that do not particularly follow any rules and should be learned by heart, like good, better, best, and bad, worse, worst, far, farther, farthest, little, less, lesser, least. You will get more such adjectives in the resources provided along with this crash course to you. And there'll be practice worksheets as well. Make sure to be revising all your chapters. Make sure you're understanding everything that is being done. And I will see you in the next one.